So some new character teasers have come out. Hope you guys like sticks. So yeah, 2.4 is shaping up to be Polearm Impact in much the same way that 2.3 is Geo Impact. Not that Geo Impact is going to end because we're still getting another Geo character in the next update. So anyway, Yunjin and Shenhei. They're both Polearm users. I kind of thought Shenhei was going to be a sword user, not even going to lie, but the Genshin Twitter even made the Polearm Impact meme themselves, so it's got to be the official word, that word being Polearm. Now, unless both of these characters are 5 stars, we're going to be looking at another probable double rerun. And with the rumors that we're getting all Leeway character combined with the fact that Leeway has 500,000 Polearm users, it stands to reason that it'll be the horrifying prospect of being Zhao and Ganyu potentially. That certainly looks like a likely scenario. We have a character lore-wise that is the closest we're going to get to a playable Cloud Retainer, to the point like Cloud Retainer is literally pointing that out in her fucking quote, and an opera later, so I don't know. Festive atmosphere for Lantern Rite, but here's the thing, I'm not 100% sure on that. Lantern Rite, by the way, is a Leeway event that ran last year and that MiHoYo explicitly stated would be a yearly recurring thing. It began last year at the beginning of February, shortly after the 1.3 update. Events are usually done in conjunction with the update schedule. And, well, the thing that's interesting is that while 2.4 falls within where the Chinese New Year would be, it doesn't fall in the right place. See, specifically, the thing that Lantern Rite is based on is the Lantern Festival, which is on the 15th day of the lunar solar year. In 2021, this was February 26th, right around the end of the Lantern Rite event. In 2022, though, while the lunar solar year begins on the 1st of February, the Lantern Festival would then be on the 15th. So, why does this matter? Simple. This 2-week period is mid-update for MiHoYo. Trust me, I am actually going somewhere with all this, including what it means. And what it means is that most likely Lantern Rite would be an event in the 2.5 calendar rather than the 2.4 one. It's possible I'm wrong, and considering that the update falls right in the middle of the Chinese New Year instead of slightly before it, it's entirely possible that MiHoYo will either lengthen one update cycle or shorten another so that they aren't releasing in the middle of it. But I'll be honest, business-wise, that seems a little bit unlikely. So basically, either they're doing Lantern Rite early, or this isn't Lantern Rite. I'm willing to operate with the assumption that, well, it's just Lantern Rite, which brings me to my next point. We're assuming that these aren't both 5-star characters. I mean, true, it does seem more like they're going to be a 4-star and a 5-star, but they could just be 2 5-stars. That could also point to this not necessarily being the Lantern Rite, because I'd imagine a rerun happening with Lantern Rite. Either that, or this is a Lantern Rite preparation event, so we have someone from the opera and someone working for Cloud Retainer getting things ready for Lantern Rite itself that we would help out along the way. I'm not saying it's lightly, but when you look at it in terms of these two characters potentially being 5 stars, it certainly seems like it could also be Lantern Rite with no reruns. And then there's the assumptions about who the rerun Leeway characters will be. There are a total of 4 Leeway event 5 stars: Zhongli, Ganyu, Zhao, and Hu Tao. Hu Tao isn't an option, so it's safe to assume that some combination of Zhongli, Ganyu, and Zhao, most likely. Zhao makes a lot of sense. He was in the first Lantern Rite, but then again, Ganyu is part of Leeway's government. It makes a lot of sense for her to be involved. Zhongli knows a lot about ceremony and history. Maybe more context for Skybracer could come from him. What I'm saying is that, well, any of these 3 could be it, but let's look a little closer. First, let's note who Shenhei is. She's a student of Cloud Retainer, and that actually puts her in close connection with Ganyu, so that marks out Ganyu as being more likely to be involved in the story with her. But then we look at Yunjin, who is in the arts. This feels more like something Zhongli would be involved in, but that being said, Zhao has a voice line for Shenhei that's locked behind a quest that doesn't exist yet. Therefore, I think the only combination I can rule out here is Zhao and Zhongli, although it's notable that among these 3, nobody mentions both of them, so it's a little iffy. That being said, let's take a look at the polearms in the game right now. I'm not going to go over everything here, but there's actually not a ton of options. So if we're really getting Polearm Impact, I don't have to rack my brain to figure out that Vortex Vanquisher has to finally get a rerun on a weapon banner, because it's the only one other than Jade Spear that hasn't since the first time, and Jade Spear is at least a standard weapon. It'll probably be somewhere on whatever banner Yunjin is with because Geo. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can piece together for right now. Considering the January 1st Spiral of Visibility supports mono element teams, wouldn't be surprised if Yunjin comes in on the first banner rotation to join up with mono Geo and give people who maybe skip some of the Geo characters an option to fill that team out. Who knows? I mean, I don't. I'm just pulling a lot of this out of my ass. But what about you? Let me know in the comments.